Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Indaba Africa. This is Chris coming to you from central Pennsylvania here on the East Coast of the United States. It is 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the East Coast of the United States, 5 p.m. in Botswana, South Africa, 4 p.m. in Windhoek and Abuja and London for that matter. And the rest of the world, you have to figure out your own time. It's too complicated for me to figure all those out. But today on my regularly scheduled Saturday live stream, I have a guest who is a small business owner from South Africa, Reese van der Walt. And Reese and I are going to be talking about reopening business and small business in the midst of the Wuhan coronavirus COVID-19 lockdowns. Now, the reason for South Africa and for Reese is twofold. First, South Africa has arguably the most draconian lockdown on the planet, bar none. And as a consequence, it should be interesting to hear how some restrictions were lifted and businesses could resume if they had a business to return to. And in this case, we actually have a small business owner, Reese, who's in the service industry in an area particularly hard hit by this. Now, she has a beauty salon, and we're going to talk about the Hair Nation in just a moment when we bring her on. But she's in an industry that had the most stringent of lockdown conditions and preventative measures to reopen. So I think it should be fascinating when you look at this. It's one thing to be running a trucking company and delivering goods. It's quite another to be running a restaurant, a nail salon, a barber shop, or hair salon. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, the other reason I bring in Reese in is she's very entertaining. She's quite an interesting person to chat with. And so we're going to bring her in right now. And let me go ahead and welcome Reese into the channel. There she is. Welcome, Reese.
Hi, I just had to unmute first.
Yeah. By the way, thanks for muting. It makes it a lot easier on my end. Thanks.
Awesome.
So, Reese, tell us a little about your business, okay? Can you introduce us so people know about your business?
Yes, I've got a salon in Joburg, and we first rented from the salon. It was already set up salon, so we rented directly from the owner of the building. And then we worked there for about 2 years, and me and my partner went into it, taking the salon over from the landlord. So now we're renting the whole salon together, partnership in it. So we've been renting it now for just like over a year.
Yeah, no, so of course I did the major faux pas of interviewing a guest. I think I said Hair Nation for your shop. It's actually the Hair Tribe, correct? It's the Hair Tribe.
Yeah, we usually worked under our names because our shop didn't have a name, because we were 4 stylists that were running our own business in the salon. So when we took it over, we decided Hair Tribe. Yeah.
No, it's quite clever. I like the little arrow with the heart in it too. And I noticed the pink theme. It seems to be strong in your life.
So strong. I am addicted to pink. So yeah, everything's pink for me.
Does that include an affinity for the musician who goes by the name Pink?
Oh, I love her so much. Yeah, she is one of my absolute favorites. Definitely.
She's absolutely quite talented. Yeah. So
she is.
Tell us a little bit about lockdown. Okay, so you've got this business with your business partner, and the lockdown order comes. Did you have any indication it was going to happen? Were you worried about it happening? And did you take preparatory steps just in case?
We kind of had a feeling that we were going to close. So we started booking less clients, and the clients that was booked there, we just told them, that if we go in lockdown, we can move up earlier. But yeah, it came so quick. It wasn't really planned or anything. It just happened. So what we did is we just told our clients, this is happening. So the ones that we could move before the lockdown started, we did. The other ones lost out. And it's very sad, because all of those clients, they had to sit for 3 months without their hair getting done. And because we weren't allowed. And I didn't want to do the illegal trading, because I was just, I couldn't do that. And I can also understand the stylists that did it, because it's their only income, where luckily I was in a position that I didn't need to do it. So, it was hard. It was a hard thing to do.
No, so I think that's actually, excuse me, a lot of stylists were taking chances in the background, weren't they? Because they didn't have any option. So I imagine they would go to someone's home and do their hair in their home or something like that. Or because I can't imagine if you had a proper salon, if you opened it, I'm sure the authorities would have come by and gone, what's going on here?
There was a lady apparently that she operated in her salon, and they locked her up, and her stuff got confiscated from her. So that's just a risk that you don't want to take. But on the other hand, I can understand the stylists that did take the risk, because if that's your only income and you have kids to support and stuff, what are you going to do? There's nothing you can do about it. You have to.
Well, do you know the story of the salon owner in Dallas, Texas? What happened to her when she was arrested for reopening her salon?
No, no.
No, there was a salon owner, a woman in Texas who owns a business, and all of the people who worked in her shop were essentially contract employees. They used her space and paid her a fee for it, and basically their income came from their clients that came in and booked with them. So she owned the shop, and then she got a small fee for them using the space. So she applied for small business bailout, or not bailout, but assistance, relief. Got that as this all came to fruition. It was last month. She was in Dallas, and they had ordered this lockdown, and they were about to ease it. The governor had announced that the lockdown would be ending on like Friday. So she reopened her shop, following the guidelines from the Centers for Disease Control and the Texas Public Health Department about social distancing. There's a whole television thing on this. They showed this. They went to her shop and covered it and showed how she reopened her business. And all the customers were standing out on the sidewalk on the street, about 6 feet, 2 meters apart. And they also had they had a temperature check. She was checking people coming in. She had a mask. The people working in her salon were making masks, and she was arrested and taken before a judge.
That's insane.
Oh, no, she was arrested and taken before a judge. Now, this was after Texas released in Dallas in particular, released thousands of criminals and suspected criminals who were being held on charges from prison because they were in danger of COVID-19. Now, they didn't empty the prisons entirely, but they let a lot of people out. They arrested this woman for opening her business, following the established guidelines for preventive measures, arrested her, took her for a judge, and the judge arrogantly called her selfish because she was greedy and wanted to open her business.
No,
she said
it's not about greed.
No, she said it's not selfish to want to feed my children, and more importantly, for the people who work in my salon who have no income. She qualified for the relief fund, which wasn't much and was just arriving, but none of the contract employees got it. Like me, I do work as a consultant. You can't apply for relief because it doesn't apply to contract employees and consultants, only formally employed employees or businesses.
Yeah.
So that kind of left her out. But she was thrown in jail. She went to jail, thrown in jail.
Insane.
And of course, no one in the jail had protective measures or mask or social distancing. And she was practicing all this, and they put her life in jeopardy and turned her into a criminal. Now, the Texas governor intervened and got her released. But that's the kind of nonsense. It's not just in South Africa. It's also happening on this side of the world in what's supposed to be the beacon of liberty. It's absolutely amazing. Crazy stuff.
It's insane, because I just feel hairstylists, we can control. We can, like them opening the churches, 50 people, whatever. But we can control. I mean, you can only come in if you have a booking. So it's very controlled situation. So I don't understand why it took so long, because we do one client at a time. We've got our mask. We take the temperature. They fill out a form. We are already, there's hygiene in a salon, like even before lockdown, because you washing your hands and cleaning all the time. So I just don't understand what the big issue was.
No, Reese, I'm with you. I mean, and let me go back to the male perspective for barbershops. I mean, back in the day when I was a young soldier and even as a mid-grade officer, you would go to a barbershop and they had straight razors. Oh my gosh. I love getting my hair cut where they clean the back of your neck and the sides with a straight razor. It was such a clean haircut.
Yes.
Because essentially it's like getting your beard shaved, except it's on the back end, but it's just really close. It's beautiful. It's well done. It feels nice. And then because of HIV and people overreacting to HIV, basically barbershops around the world stopped using straight razors. Now, the thing that always struck me as odd is that the straight razor was dumped into antiseptic and cleaned off before every use. In fact, most barbers I knew, if they used it on part of your head and then set it down, they would put it back in a sanitizer, clean off before they put it on you again. That's just how serious they were about hygiene. So ever since then, we've not had straight razors, and I've never gotten a decent haircut since like 1994. It's crazy.
Yeah, we've got the Barbicide bottles, so your combs and stuff goes in there. My razor, it's obviously not a clean shaven razor, but the thing is, like every new client, I replace the blade. I mean, we never use the same blade over. So I don't see why that doesn't make sense to me. There's a lot of hygiene in a salon. A lot.
No, absolutely. I got you. And it's really bizarre the way that public health authorities have not recognized the fact that businesses that actually practice hygiene, good hygiene practices, are the ones being punished. And all because of their unscientific presupposition that, well, they're people being very close to one another, so they're going to spread the disease. Not if you take appropriate precautions, and you're doing that, yes?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, exactly.
So
We've social distance. We took out every second chair in the salon so that we only have one chair and it's like a meter and a half away from each other. The basin area, every second basin will be open. And everyone's wearing masks. There's a sanitizing station in the front. You fill out the form. Our temperature is there. No issues. No issues at all.
yeah,
But what's funny is they did this now in the rules is you can't have a massage at the basin. So a lot of clients are very upset about that. But it doesn't make sense to me because you can go to a massage parlor, get a full body massage now, but you're not allowed to get a massage at the basin. Like that is the weirdest thing for me. Like it doesn't make sense.
well, I have to be honest, Reese. As someone in the military whose hair is usually only a centimeter or two off my scalp for most of my life, and of course, clean shaven, not having a beard, salons were not something that I had much attention to. But when I lived my first few tours in Africa, I noticed the dynamic economic impact that a salon, a hair and nail salon, have on communities, especially in countries that are less developed. Now, South Africa is more developed in many respects than most of Africa, but the tremendous impact, the number of people that are employed in the industry. I've always jokingly told people, if I want to become a multimillionaire, I'll just go to West Africa, open up a chain of hair salons, and sell hair or do nail salons, and within 2 years, I'll be a millionaire.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there's a big demand for that. And what's nice about it is you can literally go anywhere and do your job anywhere. There's no limit to, you can't go there or you can't move here. Anywhere you can go do hair. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's
language is not even a barrier. By the way, for the folks wondering what the tapping in the background is, there's a critter rolling around on our floor. I thought it was
oh my
yawning on
God, just ran in.
I thought it was yawning on a keyboard before we went on air, but it's a critter running around the floor.
Yeah, they just want attention all the time.
Yeah.
So funny.
But what I was saying is that you don't even language isn't even an issue. I mean, if you got someone who doesn't even speak the same language, you can explain what you want by gestures and things and length and stuff like that, or show a picture of a style. Yeah.
When I worked at my mom's salon in Richards Bay, we had a lot of people off the boats and stuff there. And let me tell you, it's just like, I want this and this and then this and this. And you just like do whatever, because whatever, I don't know what that means. But I always got away with it.
Yeah. Well, you figured it out, apparently. That's the deal.
Yeah.
So how did you get into this? Was beauty something that was always of interest to you, or you just kind of fell into it? Or
you know what? My mom's a hairstylist, and I just like sat there and like watched her doing hair, and my mom is so passionate about it. It's insane, and I just love sitting there watching her do hair. And then I just thought to myself, so something that I want to do, because I don't want to go in a job where it's not my passion. So I said to my mom, I want to do hair, and then I left when I was 16, moved to Pretoria, and I studied and worked for my aunt. So I did part-time. So I was in the salon the whole week, and then once a week I went to college and did my study, my day of practical or theory or whatever. And then that took 3 years. So yeah, that I just knew, it just clicked in me one day when I was like watching my mom doing hair and just how she interacts with her clients. And she's so freaking passionate about it, and you can see it. She loves it.
So let me ask this question. I'm sorry, go ahead. Continue.
No.
Okay, so let me ask this question. Okay, so coming from the male side, because I know males use salons too, but I go to barbers, not salons. But
yeah.
So coming from the male side, the thing about barbers for me, and I imagine it's probably the exact same way for women with a hairstylist, is that when I find a barber that cuts my hair just right, and I'm talking about when my hair's short, not anything special style, but I'm kind of persnickety about my haircut. If someone butchers the taper in the back, or if they cut it too short, or they don't give me something to braid. So once I find a barber that I'm comfortable with, and I say this once I do, because of course in the military I've moved like 30 sometimes in the last 30 plus years. When I get to a new location and I find a barber that I'm happy with, that's a relationship. I will only see that barber. If that barber is booked, then I'll have to wait, or I'll trim it myself so I stay legal in the military. Yes. So I imagine it's the same way with a hairstylist for women. Is that true or no?
Definitely, that's definitely so true. It's like a doctor. When you feel comfortable with the person, And it's a bond. It's a bond. Like with every client of mine, it's not just you coming in, you're doing your hair, you're leaving. There's so much more to it. Because from the start, even if you're first time you're in the salon, I'm in your personal space. Like there's no, I'm in your face and we're talking, and that's, so I think it's a very personal thing. And if you click with that person, you click with that person, and then you form an amazing bond. I mean, like, we don't just do hair. We've got a lot of clients with issues and problems and stuff, and they don't have anyone to talk to. So we're there for them. Even if they don't have an appointment, I have clients coming in and just coming to chat, if they have an issue or something. So it becomes a friendship. So yeah, that's what's so amazing about it. And you get to meet new people all the time. It's amazing.
Hey, let me jump in really quick here because someone's messing with the chat, and this is a good conversation, Reese. So listen, Louise, whoever you are in the chat, you're welcome to go look me up on LinkedIn and find out who I am. Do 5 minutes of research and search my name and find my published authoring, or you can look up videos of me in uniform at the Army War College. It's not a complicated process. I'm not really sure what you're doing, if you're just if you're being a troll or you're falling for something here. I don't know. But anyway, you're welcome to stay in the chat. But if you keep jumping in there with nonsense and disrupting people, then maybe you can just leave. I don't know where you're coming from. Anyway, so you're welcome. Yanni, you have my permission to, if she keeps misbehaving, or another moderator to block her chat. I don't ever say that, but this is an interesting conversation. We're trying to talk about the reopening of small business in South Africa, but it affects the whole world. So anyway, yeah, Reese, sorry about that. I don't usually jump in the chat here, but it was distracting me, and this is a good conversation, an important conversation. So but that's a personal relationship. That's amazing how people form that kind of bond with someone who takes care of their hair. I guess we really take our hair very seriously.
Yeah. I think sometimes I don't even think it's got everything to do with the hair. I think it's just that support that someone needs. Because every day people really, they go through stuff and they have no one to talk to, especially the older clients, that kids are out of the house and they're all alone. And then they just want to come do their hair to have a chat because they literally have no one. And their kids don't want to talk to them, or they don't see them. And then they come to us because they enjoy it there. They can talk to us. They can just let it all go. So yeah, it's a very personal thing.
So you mentioned school. So there's like a cosmetology or hair process and education. You get certified and licensed, I would imagine.
Yes. There's private schools. I went to North Tshwane College. So I didn't go to the private. My brother went to the private schools. But there's a lot of places that got courses out and stuff. But yeah, I went to Tshwane North College to do the course.
And so, what's that like? Are those schools pretty full of students? I imagine there's a big demand.
You know what? When I started, I was 16, and I realized that a lot of people, because that time you didn't need your matric to start hairdressing or all of that, and it's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to waste time. And I realized a lot of people thought that it's the easy way out, and they thought they're just going to go do hair and whatever. So we'll start with a class about 38 people, 40, and we were I think just less than 15 that qualified as they dropped out, because it's not an easy course. Everyone thinks you're just going to stand there and cut hair. It is science, maths. You learn about all the skin conditions. It's so much that you have to learn and take in. And I'm not a theory person. I killed it in practical, but my theory sucked. But yeah, it's quite it's an intense thing to study.
No, absolutely. It's funny because here in the States, we've got politicians that, disrespecting people who work in farming. Well, you just plant this, Mike Bloomberg, you just plant this. I can teach anybody to be a farmer. You put the seed in the ground, it rains, and you just harvest the stuff. And it's so the same thing with hair. I've seen people walk into hair salons, and then I see them later. I'm like, wow, who was the magician that took care of that disaster on your head?
Yeah, it's the best feeling in the world, just to, if someone's having a shit day or just feeling down, and then you do that and you just see how they change, even smiling, and it makes them feel so good. And I think there's nothing better for me.
So, do you guys offer any other services at the Hair Tribe? Do you just do hair, or do you do nails? You mentioned something about massage, or is that just for massaging with the hair?
No, that's just at the basin, your usual. We've got a nail tech there, and then we are 3 hairstylists working there, running our own businesses. Yeah.
So, you guys do nails as well?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so
We
manicures
just
and
got a
pedicures.
nail tech. Yeah, we just got a nail tech in.
Was this before or after lockdown? So you're just starting a new service, or was something you offered before lockdown?
It was just when we started when we took over the salon. So it's maybe from the beginning of the year. She
Okay.
started. Yeah,
Okay. Cool.
yeah,
No, I was wondering because I imagine businesses that are able to survive the lockdown, particularly the really rough period there for almost 3 months, or about 3 months. If you could survive that, if you had enough capital, or you weren't in capital intensive business, in other words, you weren't building something or paying to run factories and assembly lines and thousands of employees. If you had enough and you could survive, you could pick up talented people from other businesses that went under who are looking for work desperately.
yeah.
I would imagine for employers, I don't know that you're looking to hire anybody, but for employers right now, it might be an optimal time to go get people
It is.
because the
I've
talented
seen
people are out of
that.
work. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the Facebook groups for South Africa hairstylists, a lot of people are opening their salons and saying, listen, yeah, we've got rent a chair available for the people that, whose business is closed and stuff. Yeah, you see that a lot.
Yeah. So you guys, how many folks work in your salon? You were saying you have the chairs separated, a couple chairs apart now. So how many can
Yeah,
you work
we
at
are
one time?
three stylists. We are a very small salon. We like it that way. So, yeah.
No, it's I see the big ones like in malls here in the U.S. You walk by and there's 30 chairs. I'm like, it's just like another number. Take a Big Mac and
Yeah.
fries, please.
Exactly. It's like a factory. It's an in and out where we are very much, we take our time, we socialize, we sit with the clients. It's a safe space. It's like we just chill. So it's fun. It's fun.
So were you concerned at all? I know that you guys have other activities, but were you concerned at all? Excuse me, concerned at all that you might be losing your business as a consequence, not knowing when the lockdown was going to end? I mean, at some point, I'm sure some people did lose their business. I know some people did lose their business.
We were worried about the rent and everything, but we've got an amazing landlord. So, we were fine with that. So she's giving us a little bit of a relief, and so we weren't too much worried about that. And I mean, being back now, we're gonna make it. It doesn't, it was a big fall, but now we'll just carry on. It will be fine.
Well, that's great. It's interesting because people who don't work in business or really don't have any concept of how an economy works, whether it's a capitalist economy or a command economy, don't understand that you're in a building that doesn't belong to you. You're leasing space from someone who owns it. That person you're leasing from likely has debt because they borrowed money to build that facility or to buy it from someone
Yeah.
else. They've got to make debt payments, loan payments. They've got to make salary payments, and they need the income that's generated from their tenants. And when you can't provide
Yes.
it, it's not just you that's in a bind. It's potentially the person that leases you space as well. And what gets lost in the argument with all these people out there, especially on the left now, is like, well, they're just greedy. No, people aren't greedy. They got to
Yes.
feed people and pay bills, right?
Yes. So before I rented space here in Sunninghill, I had a salon from 2009, and I think I left in 2016. But I had a salon, and it was my first salon, beautiful salon. And then I think it went well for a couple of years, and then load shedding started. Yes, that just destroyed it. And then it started like in Rivonia, the pipes burst. There was a pipe that burst every week. So we would be without water for like 3 days. And I mean, water and electricity, like that's my business. So I lost so much income. And then the building was bought over, and the new owners upped the rent, and then I had to let it go. It was the worst thing because it was my first salon, and yeah, everything that happened, I had to let it go.
It's interesting. We talk about pipes bursting in Rivonia, which is just north of Santon there. I was staying once for a few days in Santon, and I stayed one of those nice lodges that you can book, and it was quite lovely. And I couldn't shower. And why couldn't I shower? because the water pipes which fed Santon run through Alexandria and had no water. And I'm like, seriously, I have to go to the mall and unclean. But at least I had short hair, so it wasn't out of control. But no, so I always joke with people. I said, if the architects of apartheid realized that the water pipes for Santon City ran through Alexandria,
it's insane. It's insane. And the thing is, they keep on putting up these apartment blocks, and it's just building upon building upon building, but the pipes can't handle it. It's a nightmare.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Well, listen, so a lot of people don't know this, but so I'm sharing with you, Reese, is that my first master's program, postgraduate program, I worked on anthropology, international political economy, and community and regional planning. So community and regional planning is exactly what we're talking about right there. When you plan communities, how you design them for utilities, for living space, commercial space, all the districting and zoning. And I just shake my head. I get why Alexandria exists, and I get how Soweto, the Southwest Townships, came about. But here we are decades later, and there are improvements, but still, the urban planning in Johannesburg kind of makes me shake my head sometimes.
Yeah, it's doesn't make sense to me, anything, I swear. And I mean, just everyone thinks, it's just the pipe, it will get fixed, but it takes Joburg water forever to get there. And then it's like they can't give you a time, and it's money that you just sit there and you stress and you stress and you stress because you don't know what's going to happen, and no one can give you a time, no one can give you anything. It was a hard time.
So speaking of brownouts or load shedding or rolling brownouts or whatever people want to call it, because people can take issue however you call it, but it's load shedding. That's shedding. That's the actual term, because the grid is shedding part of its load. So coming to load shedding, is that something that affects your business, or does your property owner have backup generators, or what's the deal?
Oh, it's the best thing ever. She's got water tanks and a generator that just like supports the whole building. So it's unbelievable. Like, that is one thing that I'm so grateful for.
No, that's awesome. That's good to hear. And, that's something that people don't really think about. A lot of South Africans say, why isn't foreign direct investment coming here? And then some South Africans say, well, that's obvious because of BEE certification and government discrimination, and then the expropriation without compensation argument. So people say that, but it actually goes beyond that. And I try to share this with people. What people don't realize is that South Africa's workforce is highly inefficient. The productivity is not particularly high across the board on average. So it costs you more to do business in South Africa from a productivity standpoint, but then you throw on top of it the unreliability of water and power and security costs to hire guards and things like that. You really have astronomical costs compared to, say, if I opened a salon right here in central Pennsylvania, I wouldn't have those burdens.
Yeah. It's a hell of a lot that goes into it.
But let's dispense with that. Let's talk more about that's the depressing stuff, about your salon. So the name, the Hair Tribe, you guys just like, were you sitting around and drinking a Stary Stumpy or a Jack and Daniels and you come up with that name? That's kind of a cool name.
No, I came up with it. It's just like a tribe. I just feel like it's a bunch of people, misfits that don't like belong anywhere, and they form their own tribe. And I just love the word tribe. So it's just we're all different, but we're all the same.
No, it's pretty cool. I really like it. It's and your co-owner. What is your co-owner? Where's your co-owner from? And how did you guys link up?
Well, he also started renting from that salon.
I was going to assume that it was a woman. See, never assume.
No. His name's Colin. And, when he started working there, we just clicked because we work exactly the same. We're not money hungry. So it's not about trying to get one client after the other, money, money, money. For us, it's passion. We love what we do. And the moment that it starts going to, like, you just want to make money, that's where you should just not even do hairdressing anymore. Then you must just, money is nice. Yes, I understand that. But the moment you are just there for the money, I'm sorry, then I just feel like you've lost it. Especially in this business, because it's such a nice business to be in, and you have to take care of your clients. And he's very much like that. He takes care of his clients. He counsels them. He's so much more than just a stylist. So because we are so alike, we just clicked. And so that's when we decided, that's the person that I'd go into business with.
No, that's cool. Yeah, never assume. It's just never a safe thing to assume. And somebody was saying a little while ago that could you do something with Chris's hair? It's funny because the comments go both ways. Wait till the beard comes off and the hair goes back to the normal shortness. People are going to be astounded. I think those who watched the video that I posted last week of me in Colorado last year when I was going through Independence Pass, which is a really beautiful spot in Colorado in the Rockies. Of course, I was clean shaven and had short hair.
I said to Yanni, that's exactly, Yanni showed me, I'm like, what did he do? Where is his beard? I was like, no, this is not right. And he's like, relax.
Yeah, that was last August. Yeah. No, but it's funny because, the subject of my beard came up on Ronaldo's show. And I think the second time I was on his show and he said, so what do you think? Should the Colonel shave his beard? And it was like 50-50. And then after that, I asked on this program, and for people who came and watched this program, and it was kind of like 75-1, don't shave the beards.
Yeah. No, beards are so in. I love beards. But funny enough, that's not one thing that I studied, is to do beards, to do the whole barber thing. And I wanted to, but you know what? When I just went, for the first time, I went on the floor. We call it, you go onto the floors when you go from apprentice to a stylist. So now you're doing your first client that's going to pay you. Oh, this was terrible. So this guy came in, and he's like a man's man. He's got the beard, he's got the khakis, the socks just under his knees. He's like proper man. So I'm like, yeah, come through, did his hair. So I started cutting his hair, and he's such a gentleman, and he's just so sweet, and started talking, and I'm cutting his hair. And then the next moment he says, can you trim my beard? I've never done a beard in my life. Ooh. So you threw me with that curveball, Chris. And he said that as I was cleaning around his ears with the clipper.
Uh-oh.
And
I was so
no, it's worse. It's worse.
Oh. Okay.
So I take the clipper and I stick it in here and I shave all the way up to his bottom lip. And I didn't put a guard on it because I was cleaning around the ears without a guard. So I clean shaved him from here up to his bottom lip. And I'm standing in front of him and I don't want to move because the mirror is behind me. And it's just like, oh, this is the worst thing I have ever in my life. But I think I made a sound. I was like, or something. I don't know what I did. And he's just like, what happened? And I'm like, and I just moved a little bit. But he was so kind. And he was just like, you know what? It grows. Don't worry. I was more hysterical. So we shaved the whole beard. So this manly guy walks in and he's like, the beard. And then he walks out like a 12-year-old. I felt so bad. So after that, I'm like, I'm not messing with beards ever again. That's just not happening. No, so even my husband has to go to a barber to get his beard done.
It's funny you should mention that because, of course, I've never had a beard. I've had a what do they call it? Van Gogh, just a short one when I would be on holiday because I didn't have to shave. And I grow like a George Clooney sort of look, a 2-day-old growth or something like that. But I've never had a beard. This is the first time ever. And so my barber, who's here locally, was closed, of course, for the lockdown. And I didn't know this, but she's a small business, one person operation. She has a wonderful shop. She does a great job. She opened up on May 8th, and we were still on lockdown. So I don't know if so I won't mention what the business is because I don't know if that was legal or not, but I think it was. Yeah. But anyway, she was open all this time. I didn't know. And then I went by there last week on my way going somewhere else. I stopped. I was actually on the way to Gettysburg to film that video for the battlefield. And I stopped there and I walked over because I saw the sign and said they were open. And I popped the door open and there was no one in the salon or in the barbershop except one person in the chair whose hair she was doing. And I looked in and she hasn't seen me since September. That's the last time she cut my hair. And she looked. And of course, my hair is not as gray as it appears when it's long like this. When it's shorter, there's a lot of darker hair and I look dark. Anyway, so she's like, oh my gosh. Oh, you do have quite a beard there. I'm like, oh, you recognize me? Yes, I recognize you, Colonel. I'm like, oh my God. So she said, listen, you can't come in, but you can. You want to book a time? And she turned around the book. I said, no. I was just looking to see if you're open, if you're still in business. I was worried that you might go out of business. She goes, no,
Yeah.
I've been open for a while. And she said, look, I can book you and we can take care of that beard. I'll trim up your beard. I'm like, I hadn't even thought about trimming my beard. So I've been doing it myself and not doing a very good job. So I'm going to do my first ever beard trimming at a barber shop. I'm going to set up an appointment with her and go in there and just get the experience of it. And then I'll debate whether I want to keep the beard after that. But the stuff on top is really frustrating me because it's so long as it's been since I was a freshman at university, and it didn't used to curl. So I don't know if this is exposure to radiation from Chernobyl in 1986 or burning oil wells in Iraq or what it is. But now it's like, I feel like Pippi Longstocking. My hair just curling all over the place. Crazy stuff.
Put it in a bun. Just put it in a bun.
I'm not doing a
comb
man.
it back, put it in a bun.
There's not going to be a man bun here. So there's a comment. There's a comment from Variable Vision a little while ago when you were talking about. Now let me explain, and you tell me if I got it correct, Reese. Okay, so he's commenting, and it's about when you're talking about doing what you're doing in doing hair. You got to have a passion for it. As soon as you get locked in about money, and it's all about the money, then it really doesn't have the same feeling. And I would echo that. I mean, I served in uniform for 36 years, and I retired as a colonel, which pays well. I'm not Bill Gates, obviously, but it does pay reasonably well. The compensation is good. But I passed up lots. When I say lots, I'm talking about a lot of money to go into the private sector on multiple occasions because I had a passion for what I was doing. I felt I was making a difference. And as long as I always felt like I could make a contribution and I was changing the world in a positive way and I enjoyed what I was doing, I would stay. And that was pretty much true with a few exceptions. You always work for a few turds who are your bosses, but you also work for brilliant people. So that was pretty much the case. So what he said respectfully, many people will now have to do things that's not their passion. There are plenty of good reasons to do a job for the money, providing for wife, kids. Well, I think Reese and I would agree with that wholeheartedly. I think Reese was just trying to make the point that her love for doing hair is more important to her than the financial aspect of it. Of course, the money's necessary.
Yeah.
You got to pay the rent. You got to pay bills.
Yes.
But
yes.
I think that's what you get.
Yeah.
You get people that, like, for instance, people in the tech industry. I wanted to make a platform where people could share, and now they ban people because they disagree with their views. Well, I thought this was about sharing. Now that you've got your billions, you don't care about sharing anymore, do you?
Exactly.
Yeah. So
exactly.
Did I represent that correctly? Is that your thoughts on it?
No, that's exactly it. I mean, I can understand if you have to, you have to work. But I'm talking about my feelings towards it. Yeah. And growing up in a family that is hairdressers, my aunt is, my cousin is, my mom is, and I just see the passion there. And yes, we make money. It's good money, but I just feel like there's stylists that also it's just about the money. I mean, you need to have something, a little bit of passion there to do it. So that's how I feel about it.
No, I agree with you wholeheartedly. So this is where we're going to start in the chat, get all kinds of lessons for Chris about speaking off our cons. So there's a comment from a gentleman in here, and I'll do my best. Gerhard Bielefeld, who says, Reese, just love your hair. Who did it for you? I'm going to guess that Yanni doesn't do your hair.
Hey, he's done it before.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I showed him on a mannequin and he just said, oh, please, I don't have to see this. I can do it. And he's done it. He's done my roots. Wow. And he's done it well. He hurts me, but it's because I'm very sensitive. So he pulls my hair, but hey, he can do my roots easily.
Wow.
Trained him well.
Man of many talents, that Yanni he is.
But yeah.
Cool. So okay, I got to ask this question. I mean, I'm sure people want to know this. Okay, the pink hair. When did that start? Is it recent? Were you a teenager? When did you start dyeing your hair like this?
No, my mom dyed my hair blonde from standard 3, and then she got a complaint at school that I'm not allowed to color my hair, so I had to grow that out. That was horrendous. But I think it must have been just after I met Johnny, started playing around with pink hair and everything, and then it just started off with highlights and then more pink and then more pink, and then I was just like, yep, this is my color. And from there on out, and me and Yanni's been together for over 15 years. Wow. So yeah, it's been a while that my hair is pink. I love it. And every time I think, okay, now I'm going to go back to blonde or to my black hair, and then I'm just like, nope, it's back to pink. I just do not feel right with any other color. This is my natural color.
You guys have been together for over 15 years. Do we need to report Yanni to law enforcement? I mean, what were you, 12, 13 when you met?
No, hey, I'm turning 36 this year.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. Wow, you
Yeah,
put
but let me just first tell you this. So this morning, woke up normal, go to work, and I'm on the family group on WhatsApp, and I see Yanni's mom message happy anniversary to you two. It's our 5-year anniversary today, and not one of us remembered. And I phoned in, and I'm like, "Oh, happy anniversary!" Like I remembered, and then we just started laughing, and I'm like, "No, I didn't remember either. I'm so sorry." So yeah, I said
Wow.
I just blamed it on lockdown. I just like, sorry, lockdown.
No, that's
So
exactly
yeah,
right. You know, something didn't happen. Lockdown. Missed a meeting. Sorry, lockdown. Yeah. You didn't pay your bills. Lockdown. What do you want, man? Come on.
lockdown. Everything's locked down.
Oh my
So
goodness.
yeah,
Both of you forgot your anniversary. Wow.
yes,
All right.
yes.
Wow. Well,
If
congratulations
he's
on your
if
anniversary, both of you.
Yeah, thank you. If his mom didn't mention anything, we wouldn't have known.
Well, isn't that what moms, grannies, and aunties are for, to remind us of things?
Exactly, exactly, exactly.
Oh, that's something else. Hey, Germ
So
is in
fun.
here. Germ is popping in. Germ is going to be on in about 20 minutes, and I'll be on Germ Warfare. So, Jeremy, welcome on here. He says, just logged in. Ask her if she finds clean-shaven men. Oh, he's always troll. Germ, okay, this is going to be fun when I go on his show, but it'd be my first formal appearance on his show. But Germ says, ask her if she finds clean-shaven men sexier than men with stubble or vice versa. Okay, that's probably...
Oh no, always a little bit of stubble or full on beard for me. Clean shaven, it's like I'm dating a child. I'm sorry.
Now,
And I don't want to date a child.
is that a cultural thing, Reese? I mean, is it an Afrikaans thing, a Boer thing, or is it just something you just found just because it appeals to you?
I don't know. I think it must be like a Afrikaans thing. I don't know. But my father's had a beard. I don't know. I just find it better looking. Even when my dad shaves his beard, I'm like, no, it's too much face. Please just grow it out.
Hide that
I
thing.
just
Hide it.
can't. Yes, and my brother as well. If he shaves, he looks like he's 8 years old. I'm like, no, even if it's just a little bit, it's just something, please.
Gareth has piped in and said it's not an Afrikaans thing; it's a real man thing.
Exactly, exactly.
Well, okay, maybe I better not shave mine off then.
But there is some guys that cannot grow a beard,
Yeah.
and it's very patchy, and for them, it's okay, it's fine, shame.
All right,
But
so
okay.
let's shift a little bit and talk about your clients, if you don't mind. So not
No.
Louisa Steenkamp. No, and we're not talking about specific clients, but just about your clients in general. I mean, I imagine there were probably some of them euphoric that you reopened. They could come see you, and you probably or get. Am I wrong? Do you have constant bookings? I mean, people are just trying to get in and get done.
Yeah, I'm booked up now for 4 weeks where I
Wow.
can't do anyone now. I can't do any more bookings until after 4 weeks. But it's that first day back. I got home and I just cried because it's such an emotional thing to see them again, because you're so close to them and you like, it's so amazing to see them. And then the downside of it is a lot of them are really struggling. They they're extroverts. They like going out. They like seeing people, and it's just heartbreaking to see how hard it is for them. Because I'm a homebody. Listen, yeah, I can stay here forever. I didn't have issues. I love the lockdown. For me and Yanni, we love being at home.
Don't say that too loudly. I love the lockdown.
Yeah. But
Wait. Bring the hand back
you
up.
know,
Let me see those nails again. Were those pink nails? There you go.
yeah, shocker.
But you guys love the lockdown.
We did. We like it. We don't have any issues. But, there is people that do. I mean, in the salon, since we've been back, I mean, we got back on Thursday, and I swear every day you hear about a divorce. I'm done. I'm leaving my husband. I'm done. I can't take it anymore. I divorced in the middle of lockdown. And I was like, what? So it's hard. People are taking it really, really hard. And there's a lot of clients that don't live with anyone. They're alone. And that breaks my freaking heart. And I'm like, but why didn't you phone me or video call me? Because I don't mind. Like, just have someone to talk to. It's the saddest thing that people are so heartbroken and so broken about it.
Yeah, no, it's really
That
sad.
first day was just emotional. It was so, so emotional.
No doubt. But I imagine it still continues to be emotional because now you're getting to clients you haven't seen yet who are coming in for the first time. They've had to wait longer. And oh, by the way, as soon as you get through 4 weeks of bookings, you got the same people coming back because it's time to get their hair done for some of them.
Yes, yes, yeah. We were laughing about it yesterday. My one client, she's like, "Yeah, I'll see you when you're done with your pre-lockdown bookings." I'm like, "Yeah, I guess I will." But it was very funny. I've got this one client. She does extensions with me, and she, she was so upset that I couldn't help her the first day. And I was like, "Yeah, but I have to order the extensions and everything." And I thought, so yesterday she came in for a color at the one stylist, and I do her extensions. So I just looked at her and she was like, "Ugh, Sharice, I need to get this extensions done." And I'm like, "But what is the rush? Like, just chill." And she's like, "I can't walk around. What if I catch COVID? Like, what if I get it now? Then I have to go without extensions to the hospital, Sharice. It's a disgrace. People are going to look at me and I don't have my extensions." And I'm thinking to myself, but it's extensions. Like, if you have COVID, that's the last thing. She's like, "That's not my last thing." So eventually I got her in today. So I did her extensions today. So as I'm done, she's like, "Oh, I'm so ready for COVID now."
Oh, jeez. You know, it's it's funny because I don't know. Not dissing on them, but I think extensions are kind of a cheat. I mean, back when I was a young man, women had to grow their hair that long, and now you look at a woman like, wow, her hair is amazing, and you get this. No, those are extensions. Damn.
Yeah, 80% of them, 80% of it's human hair, so it's fine.
Yeah, if you say so. I'm
Really
sure.
cheating.
I'm sure it's not woolly mammoth hair. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, so variable vision, because there's not much of that available. But the variable vision had a comment here really quick. He said the psychological impact of lockdown is devastating society. The true extent of the damage will only become apparent in a few years' time. Yeah, and variable. I agree with you. I'm sure all of us do. That's something I said from the outset before countries even went in lockdown. I said, this is going to have a dramatic effect. Suicides are going to rise. Domestic violence is going to rise. Gender-based violence is going to rise. You're going to see divorces rise, which is what Reese was just talking about a moment ago. And you're also going to see something nobody likes to talk about. Besides alcoholism, you're going to see incest. And people aren't talking about this because you have predators who now have access to their victims 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And the other part is you have perfectly happy couples who don't see each other but about 6 or 7 hours a day. And now it's 24 hours a day. And after about 2 weeks, I think a lot of people are hot full of their partner.
Yeah. My doctor, she came on Thursday, I did her hair, and she said that she just had to write 4 death certificates. And she said the sad thing is it's not even COVID.
Yeah.
She said it's people that is so scared to go to the doctor. The one guy had diabetes and he was too scared to catch COVID and he died of it.
Yeah.
You know, people are not going to the doctors because they're scared. They are so scared. And she said the suicide rate has gone up. Today, a client told me that there was in their story that a brother raped his 2 sisters. Because it's shocking. It is so shocking that what's going on. And you hear this every day in the salons. Every day, it's stories of what's happened. And no, it's terrible.
No, it's absolutely really sad. But it's the part of this that people didn't really pick up on. But the folks who work in your salon, I imagine they're happy to get back to work, and not just because they have bills to pay, but just to get back to work and feel productive and useful.
Yeah, just to talk shit all day. That's what it is.
Okay, that's what it is. I didn't realize that part.
Listen to music and get to hang out with your friends. That we missed it so much. It's just that vibe in the salon and laughing and making jokes and listening to all the stories. And no, that's the best. So we missed that a lot, the gossip.
Yeah, no, that's, I guess a lot of people don't really think about that too much, but I remember the barbershop movies when they came out in the 90s, you know, with the black actors in America, and you realize all the cock that people are talking in the barbershop and the salon. Yeah. Yeah, there was, when I was in Iowa State teaching in Ames back in the mid-1990s, there was a barbershop close to campus, and I would walk there, and the guy who cut hair was then probably about my age now, and he cut everybody's hair. All the people who were like the coaches and the well-known figures and the chancellor and stuff. And people come in there, plus people from the community, businessmen and farmers and such. And he cut everybody's hair. So it was hard to get an appointment, but I would get my hair cut there because he was good. And I would have to wait my turn. And the conversations that took place in the barber shop, I'm like, oh my goodness. So I can only imagine a beauty salon. I haven't spent time in there to listen to conversations.
Oh no, it's the best thing you could ever do is just come sit there and just for one day, just sit and listen to the stories. And let me tell you, everyone thinks women are like they're the ones that gossip. My gents, they spill the tea like crazy, like crazy. The stories they tell you, oh no, it's just like, and then I just have to go down and say, can you just a little bit softer because that lady is staring at me. So can you just please just lower your voice? Not everyone has to hear anything. Just shh. No, stories are crazy.
So it's not women that are the gossipers, it's the men who gossip in your shop.
Yeah, like I couldn't wait for my gents to come in just to tell me the stories about what happened in lockdown and who they hooked up with here and what happened then, who fought with who, and oh no, that's my best.
Where they got their illegal cigarettes from.
Yeah. We were all standing outside smoking sharp cigarettes.
Oh my God. So Ashley says, and I think it's a good thing. I don't think it's bad because I don't get it, but I think I get where she's coming. Reese is such a good storyteller, laughing out loud, even with a tinge of Joe Berg coo girl accent. Ha ha ha. Thanks for the laugh. What's coo girl? What's that? Is that inside joke?
Yeah, you know what? I'm not. I'm so not. I'm not a coo girl at all. No, I'm so Afrikaans. Let me tell you this first, then you'll understand I'm not a kugel. So my one client, she came in and I said makru. I went to makru. This lady looked at me and she's like, what is that? I said, I went to makru. She's like, oh, macro.
Yeah, the store. Now, I know what you meant when you said that.
I'm Afrikaans. I'm makru. No, she's like, oh, macro. I said, whatever, sorry, macro. So it is a way they talk, and also it's not Rivonia, it's Rivonia.
Yeah.
To them, so there is that Kugel type of clique where they speak like that, and I wish I was part of it, but I can't be. I'm too Afrikaans for that. Like makru, and I went to makru. It's so embarrassing, especially when you get all these English clients. And I felt so stupid when she said it's macro. I was like, oh, okay.
No, it's funny when you said that because when you said it in Afrikaans, I knew exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about macro, the store. I knew that. Yeah, just because you pronounce it, but that's actually funny. It's funny, Reese, about accents and language because what happens is for instance, I'm from Maryland originally, and Maryland is a really strange place because there are so many different dialects and accents within just 5 or 10 kilometers of each other.
Yes,
we have, and they're very distinct. I was in the exchange, the Post Exchange, which is the store the military can shop in for personal goods, out in Arizona when I came back from Europe in '94. And I walked into the exchange, and there was a gentleman there because you have to show your identification card in order to enter because it's not open to the public, but the base is open to the public. So I walked in. He said, "Can I see your ID card?" And I showed it to him. And I said, "Are you from Glen Burnie, Maryland?" He said, "How'd you know?" I said, "Because you spoke." He's like, "Huh?" I said, "No, you've got a Glen Burnie accent," which is clear as day. And so that accent 5 kilometers away, not 5 miles, 5 kilometers away, I can pick up an entirely different accent from people, and I know exactly where they're from the way. So, for instance, people in Baltimore don't call it Baltimore; it's Balmer.
Baltimore.
Yeah, Balmer. That's what they say. Yeah.
Okay.
And they don't say Maryland; they say Merlin. Well, I'm from Merlin.
And what is the New Orleans?
New Orleans.
New Orleans. Yeah, that one gets me every time.
But that's a completely different accent from a completely different part of the country. But yeah, no, my point is that people pronounce things the way they pronounce them. It's funny, people give me a hard time. I think it's in jest with the G in pronunciation Afrikaans. I take it as a funny thing. I appreciate that people comment. But hey, until I spend a concerted amount of time hanging around with Afrikaners at a braai and drinking a castle, as the brew would say, castle lager.
Castle, black label.
Not a castle lager, but... until I spend a lot of time doing that, I'll still be pronouncing it Ronaldo Hose.
It's funny because it's Joburg and then Pretoria is a total different kind of accent, and then where I'm from, Richards Bay, it's different. Cape Town's different. But I don't really it's hard for me because when I just moved here, you get all these like most of my clients are English clients and they speak the language so well. And yeah, I'm Afrikaans and I'm trying my best there and I'm embarrassing myself left, right, and center. It's no,
It's it's
it's
interesting because
embarrassing.
it reminds me. I think someone put in, it was a Variable Vision put in explaining what a Kugel is, but he says Kugel. In German, that's a ball, a little like ball, a Kugel. But anyway, so for instance, in Austria, you get these things. They're called Mozart Kugel, and the Mozart Kugel is these little chocolate that come in a round ball, and they're made in Salzburg. They're called Mozart Kugel, named after, of course, the composer Mozart. But anyway, Kugel is a rich blonde lady, typically from Santon, with a distinct Johannesburg accent and a number of associated accessories like a BMW convertible, implants, and bangles.
That's true. That's true.
Well, that
But let
reminds
me
me.
tell,
Good.
there was just to tell you how Afrikaans I am. This is so embarrassing, but I don't even care. When I was working for my mom, flat irons was a very big thing, and so the Afrikaans in me came through so badly. The lady wanted to buy an iron, and I had to sell it to her, and I said, "Yeah, it's got ceramic plates."
That's too funny.
And I've been calling it ceramic plates for so long.
That it just came out.
I said it's ceramic, and I was like, "Oh fuck, that's so bad, so embarrassing." Ceramic plates.
That's just too.
Oh,
my
no,
goodness.
it's embarrassing. I can't.
Well, I have a feeling, Reese, that this could be like my conversation with Giselle. We could chat for hours and hours, but we're going to have to end here shortly. So we got about 3 minutes left on the stream. So listen, anything you want to share with us about the lockdown that you learned as a small business owner, and maybe some encouragement for others? Because you're in probably one of the toughest industries to survive this, and your business fortunately has survived. So any advice for folks?
Yeah, especially when it's a small business, you think it's this big thing. And I was stressing. I told Jenny, I don't even know if I want to go back. But once you're there and everything is in place, I mean, the only thing that we did is we did the markers, the spacing, and we put up the posters and the sanitizing. And people are accommodating and they understand. And because I stressed so much, I was like, oh my goodness, the clients aren't going to do anything. They don't want to do this, they don't want to do that, but people are really understanding. So we sanitized the whole place the day before, and it took a day. Everything was done. We had our papers that they had to fill out. It's really not that bad. I was stressing. The night before, my anxiety was shooting through the roof. I didn't even want to go back. But once you're there and, you get into the groove so fast, and you'll get back to it, and you don't have to stress about it, because then you know that you're doing what you love, and it's all just comes back to you and you just go on. So yeah, it's really, don't be so anxious.
No, that's a good advice, I think. And also, I really appreciate you sharing the insights, Reese, of the anxiety of going back and concerns about the business. It comes through, I think, for those watching the show. We don't get to see you doing hair, but it's clear that you have a passion for what you're doing, and obviously it influences, and I'm sure your clients are very happy about that. Someone that enjoys what they're doing and is passionate about it is always the kind of business you want to go to, because you're going to get good service, you're going to get good help from people like that, rather than somebody just, it's time to make the donuts, okay, show up 4 o'clock in the morning, dip this, you don't want that. So thanks a lot for thanks a lot for sharing your insights. Listen, we'll have to get you back on at some point. I don't know. I suppose maybe if we have to, we could bring Yanni on too. But I mean, if you don't tell him, we won't bring him on.
Yeah. No, I won't tell him. Rather not.
Anyway, but congratulations on reopening, Reese, and getting your business back, and being able to stay in business. And also congratulations to those who work for you, and also to your clients, who I'm sure are very happy.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me, Chris. I really appreciate it. I was very nervous. I told Jenny, it's like, it's the first time, I was with him on the show, and it was a quick one and whatever, but I was like nervous. I'm like, oh my gosh. And he's like, chill, because if I start talking, I don't stop. It's kind of a problem. So I was like, oh my word, this is going to be the worst. But once you get into it, it's all right. So it's not that bad.
No. And you were a fine guest. I try to make my guests feel comfortable, and that's...
You do. You really do. I don't think I would be this comfortable easily.
Well, I think the reason you were comfortable, it's the dead sexy Pete Retief beard I got going here, so you were put at ease.
Exactly. It's like something that you can stare at and not, yeah.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
so's a traffic accident, but I don't recommend staring at traffic accidents. All right, Reese. Thanks a lot. I'm gonna drop you off here and close off, and I won't be able to call you right back because I've got to get on with germ warfare. But I'm gonna close out the show by myself. So I'm gonna hang up on you.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, Reese. Brilliant. Thanks for being my guest today. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
By allowing the rest of South Africa to choose on our behalf. We continue to give it by staying in a voluntary relationship.
Sorry, folks. I've got some noise in the background. I have no idea what that is.
Become an abusive relationship, but we don't have to stay.
Got some noise going on back here. I have no idea what it is.
Only ever truly be expressed when we choose our own.
There it is. Sorry about that. I hope you guys didn't hear that. I had some noise in the background there. Anyway, let me get Reese off. That's unfair to have her up like that. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. This has been Indaba Africa. My guest today was Reese van der Walt, the owner of the Hair Tribe, a hair salon located in Johannesburg. And she's a fantastic guest. Really appreciate her being on the channel with us. It was excellent discussion. I really enjoyed her insights about reopening a small business in the aftermath. And it's not really the aftermath. We're still living with the Wuhan coronavirus, COVID-19, but we've got her. Yep. Anyway, or excuse me, we've got her. We've got her. The virus is still going. I guess I've given the virus a gender now. But COVID-19 is not over. We're still dealing with it. But the aftermath of the early lockdown requirements in South Africa and around the world have been eased up in many places. So small business owners are returning to work if they still have a business and trying to get their clients back in. So Reese, thank you so much for being my guest. I really enjoyed it. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow on this channel, I'll have Big Daddy Liberty. He'll be on the channel tomorrow at 11 Eastern in the U.S., 5 p.m. in Botswana and South Africa, 4 p.m. in Namibia, Nigeria, and also in London. So please tune in for Big Daddy Liberty tomorrow. I may do a live stream later tonight. I'm not sure. Got a few things coming up. But right now, I'm going to get off the air because I'm a guest on germ warfare. So if you're enjoying this stream and you want to hear more, please come over to germ warfare. We're going to talk about colonization and warfare in Africa. That should be interesting. Thank you so much for being on the show today, Reese. And thank you all